Hello everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe, and welcome to another beautiful day on the planet. Hope you're doing okay. It is extremely warm here today. We've had a little burst of summer weather. It's crazy heat. But and I remember when I lived in the United States, of course, it was hot where, in various places, but you had air conditioning, and this is like no air conditioning or very little in European countries. So I've got my fan and I've got a fan. And that is kind of how I'm hoping to survive the next few days. I went yesterday to a theater production of my little grandson, and oh my goodness, we were all just like sweltering, but it's okay. I'm just happy to be alive on the planet, to be honest, as probably all of you are too. But chatting today about invisibility, it's one of those narratives, those stories that we talk about all the time. I feel invisible as I get older. What does that mean? Well, invisible means that people don't see you. They literally don't see you. And it might feel like that sometimes. I mean, it may actually feel like you're sitting there waiting to be seated in a restaurant and everybody's coming in and like you're just waiting and it's like, I'm here, hello. And it just doesn't sometimes register with someone who's looking for something else. So that's the key. Is when people are looking for something else, they don't see you. And that's the thing that's probably the hardest hurdle to overcome. And I don't think too many people actually look at invisibility from this perspective. They think about it in like a negative, that someone doesn't like you, or they don't want to pay attention to you, or you're not important, or you have no currency. All these things that make you invisible, meaning that you don't matter anymore. But I really think what it is personally is that they have a different expectation. And that's the thing that we have not responsibility, but an opportunity to change, because we are the ones that are controlling the way that we're presenting ourselves in the streets and conversation, in public places. We are the ones that are controlling the impression of what we want to be seen as. Now, a lot of women, and I've talked to many women in our 60andMe community, don't want to be seen when they're over 60. It's they either they don't feel good about what they see in the mirror, their expectation isn't being met, or they feel like they just genuinely don't matter anymore, that people don't care for them, that their money's not important, that their buying power is not even understood. But I think it's our job, if we want to be, sort of involved in this conversation, is to contribute to changing the perceptions of what it's all about. Now, it's true that we're no longer seen, in quotes, in society the same way by men, even by younger women, that we're kind of like the cute little old lady who is just, isn't she cute, kind of thing. Because it's, again, not that they don't like you personally, they don't know you personally, but it's not they don't like you personally, it's because they don't have a perception in their own minds of what an older woman is, what we actually embody, what we actually offer, so the actual result, of course, of all of that is that we are left out. We're left out of ads. We're left out of, business positions, opportunities, because people just leap from where their perception of you goes to your value, and they make the decision that you're not of value. So it's not so much that you're invisible. They see you. They just don't see you in the way that they anticipate they need to see you in order to fulfill whatever it is they're looking for. So if a brand is looking for someone to buy their skincare moisturizer, they see you with wrinkly skin and kind of the imperfections everywhere. They see you, and that's not going to sell our brand. And so their filter is advertising. Their filter is how you're going to look in a picture, not who you are as a person. They're just looking at how you meet their expectation, how you fulfill their need to sell their product, promote their product, talk about their product. And the perfect example, of course, was with L'Oreal. I mean, they actually wanted me to demonstrate their products. They wanted me to show and they are very good products. There's no doubt about it in my mind. They really are wonderful for older women. But they saw the manifestation of that as presenting advertising in a certain way that would reach the younger woman, not the older woman. It was really interesting. They took it halfway, but they didn't go the full distance. So I think it's easy to say, well, they think that we're invisible because we're not, don't have any, we're not wise, we're not smart enough, we're not technical enough, we're not all these things enough, but we are. And so I think that that's where we're undervalued. Our presence is not appreciated, and it's not you. It's because cultures kind of got a blind spot. Like it's the conversations that are going on in the worlds where those people live, in the business world, in the in the advertising world. They are seeing it differently. And so I guess that's really the only message I'm trying to get across in this video, is that when you're thinking about invisibility, there's a real beauty to becoming invisible, because it only matters to you now. It shouldn't matter to anybody else, whether they're accepting you or putting you in a category that they value high. It's whether you value yourself high. And so you've got an opportunity to just, not ignore, you can't ignore it. I mean, it's the world that we live in, right? But you don't have to impress anymore. You just have to be. You have to be beautifully who you are. So I guess the question for you to ask yourself, if you're feeling invisible, is how do I want to be perceived now? How do I want to be seen now? Do you want to be seen, visible, as that person that you no longer are? Or do you want to be seen as who you truly are? And it's going to take a little while for people to make the leap. That's the challenge, of course. And we talked about changing the narrative and changing the way that we talk about ourselves. But I think if we start seeing ourselves fully, kindly, as just nice people that are offering a wealth of love, compassion, what's the word I'm looking for? Helping, mentoring. It's like, if you want to be seen in that way, then you've got a different image that you can project. It doesn't matter that you look beautiful or that you're wearing this fashion or you're doing this. So I think the secret is to find the creative spaces where you fit in. The fit in where, some people will find that in a place of faith and worship, because that kind of is you've got like a broader spectrum of association, like you see it as you're part of a bigger group. But maybe the idea is just not to be seen, not to be putting yourself in places, going places where there's going to be an analysis of who you are by your appearance, rather than by who you truly are in your heart. And if you can't find it, well, you're definitely in the right place today, right this moment, because you're with 60andMe, and we totally get that. I mean, that's what it's all about. And so if you've got one place that you can come and just be visible and be appreciated for all the manifestations of who you are, then it's here. Then you're in the right place. Okay, so I think that's the most important thing, is to, first of all, don't be hurt by the feeling that you're being ignored. Because you're not. You're not being ignored, for one thing. You're just being placed outside the definition of what that person sees as an older woman. I've probably not made this very clear. I hope I have, because I really mean it sincerely, that, being invisible, it has a beauty to it that frees us up to do so many other things. And I think that's where we need to be appreciative and thrive in that environment, thrive in that environment of invisibility, swim in it. And as I've always said, there's like an on-off switch on your invisibility cloak. You have the control of it, right? You're the person. You can switch it on if you want to have no contact. You just want to just be yourself in your own little world, and then you can switch it off if you want to be visible to the world. On. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. You choose. Okay, well, I hope that this has been helpful. I really mean it. I just popped a little message on my computer here, or my phone, saying rain alert. So I'm like, please, yes, some rain would be lovely. But I did actually have a very beautiful fan that I've been using. I feel very Spanish, but yeah, it's all good. Wherever you are in this beautiful world, take care of yourself, and we'll talk again soon. But if you've got any thoughts on this invisibility, please leave them comments in the section below. Just don't feel like it's holding you back. Just go and thrive in the world, and be visible when you want, and embrace invisibility as a gift. Okay, take good care, everybody. Lots and lots of love to you. All the best. Bye for now.